no, I don't think we will make it. I think they do what they have to do.
There we go. Everyone.
Someone had to do it. He wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, and he had all kinds of background noise going on. Can you believe this on All Elite Women? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to All Elite Women and friends.
Hi.
It is a sad occasion. We do not have Cactus Katie with us, but we are excited to see her next week. Hopefully, she will be back. We are also excited because we got the wrestling doll. How you doing, Sabrina?
I'm fine. Tonight's Dynamite was like a dynamite stick where the light is just at the end, and then it just fizzled out. But
Steve was right on time for that.
I have on my Mercedes Monet. She was still Sasha Banks merchandise, and I have on my what I call my Hangman Adam Page coat.
Oh, I like the boss necklace. I wish. And also, we've got our Mad Dog. We've always got our Mad Dog. How you doing, Maddog Kelly?
Good. How are you, ladies? Happy Wednesday.
Very happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday night. You know what that means exactly. Dynamite means a lot of things. It means that Kenny Omega is back on AEW television. So they started the show with him. We had a segment between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega because they've got some common enemies in the Death Riders and the Don Callis family. As we know, Ospreay actually used to be a member of the Don Callis family, but he assures Kenny Omega that, that's a thing of the past and that he wants to team up with him to kind of take down their enemies. Omega does not trust him because the last time he saw Ospreay, he had a screwdriver that he was stabbing him with. So he's like, what makes you think that I'm going to trust you? It is at that moment that Don Callis actually comes out to interrupt this promo. He doesn't get to say a word because Kenny Omega sees him and he makes a beeline. It's on site. He goes to attack him, but the Don Callis family comes out. They attack Omega. The numbers game, but then Ospreay is kind of able to help him fend off and kind of prove himself a bit to Omega. And then later on in the show, it is confirmed. So we will see Ospreay and Omega face Fletcher and Takeshita. That match will be in Australia at Grand Slam. Any words from you guys?
Well, considering the fact that I don't follow any of the male storylines on Dynamite, it was fine. I mean, when I saw Will Ospreay, the first thing I thought was that you were going to be very happy to see him because we all know how much you love Will Ospreay. And when I saw Kenny Omega, I was like, oh my goodness, there's a referee friend of mine who loved that man so much. I knew she was crying. She was watching tonight. So
I also have a friend who is unhealthily obsessed with Kenny Omega. Her Instagram feed is just photos of him and, how much she thinks he is attractive. So, Mad Dog, do you have an Instagram account dedicated to Kenny that we don't know about?
No, I do not. But I have a T-shirt if that counts. I want a T-shirt of Kenny Omega.
Listen, any merch and anything you can find in everyday life, you can make it count as merch for anybody.
Kenny Omega has really good merch. Even if you're not a fan, those shirts. I have friends who are not wrestling fans, but that Kenny merch, they're like, that hits. I'm wearing that. Who is Kenny Omega? How dare you ask who is your Lord and Savior?
EVP of AEW. That's what I know. He's an EVP of All Elite Wrestling.
Hey, Sabrina, Mad Dog, and Shara. What's up, Jeffrey?
Hi, Jeffrey.
I stopped saying Joffrey. I don't know. I don't know why I was ever saying that. It's just spelled that way, bro. I'm sorry.
Well,
we got
that way. So,
see, we got a promo from the Death Rider. So later on in the show, PAC will face Adam Copeland in the main event. We'll get to that later. Moxley actually says that Copeland.
What?
May I ask a very serious question?
See.
Okay. Did whatever happened to Hangman Adam Page rub onto Wheeler Yuta because he looks homeless now?
Listen, man. If you didn't notice, they've fallen on hard times over at AEW and they're not able to pay people. So everybody's, they're growing beards, they're going broke, they're not eating. Listen,
apparently Wheeler Yuta is so broke he can't even afford to go to the barber.
exactly.
Say one of his friends.
Probably not. No. Yeah.
Well, actually, he's growing out his hair so that he can donate it to Locks of Love, or at least that's the story I've made up in my head, and I'm sticking to it.
Well,
we gotta-
for the Death Riders, that'd be ironic.
yeah, I guess that's true. Um, anyways, so after that, so we got the Hurt Syndicate versus Private Party. This was a match for the AEW World Tag Titles. Specifically, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. They were representing the Hurt Syndicate, and they did actually defeat Private Party. It was a very back and forth match. It was a competitive match, but I mean, I think we kind of knew what was going to happen there.
Well, I mean, the second. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that after that match, I think it was Mark Briscoe kind of came out and he comforted Private Party. He's like, it's okay to lose. We all lose. I lost. Shit happens,
Well, I was about to say, when commentary keeps making the comments over and over and over again that somebody hasn't won a certain title, there's a 99.9% chance that they're going to wind up winning the title that night. There's very few times where that's happened and that wasn't the case, but this was one of those times. When I heard
the laws of physics.
like the fifth time that, Bobby Lashley has never been a tag team champion, I was like, yeah, they're doing it to them. And I was like, after 2 spears, yeah, he's not getting up.
Yeah, but that's because Bobby was a single star from jump. He always had that treatment. Mad Dog, what say you? We've got our new tag champions, the Hurt Syndicate.
This was probably main event. Besides the main event, probably and the Jamie Hayter match, which we'll get into later. Probably my maybe second or maybe third match of the night. I really actually like this match. I like Shelton. I like Bobby. I told you guys a couple weeks ago. Hurt Syndicate business is booming over there. Especially with the whole looming threat with Swerve and MVP and that whole element. I really do enjoy this, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, I'm happy for the new champs. I think Bobby also won I don't know, maybe EC can look this up for us, or I'll look it up here in a second. I think he won the tag team championships in WWE. I know he was a world champion in WWE. I don't remember if he ever won the tag champions though.
Did he not?
I think Shelton did though. Shelton won the tag.
I'm about to hit up handy dandy cage match. Bobby Lashley.
I know Shelton and Cedric were tag champions. I know that.
But Bobby had never held the belts as a tag champion.
Right. He was only a world champion.
I'm seeing the US title, ECW title, TNA X Division, which I actually didn't realize that. Learn something new every day. Okay,
okay. So it was Shelton and Cedric, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
You'd be wondering where Charles could have seen this coming. I'm a believer in the conspiracy theory that Stevie Wonder can see. But
yeah. Hi, Charmaine. Bobby sucks. No, I like Bobby.
Ding dong, you're wrong, Charmaine. Come on now.
Bobby's great. Shelton's great. This was a good match.
Well, I'm just going to say this, Shay. It's not February, so certain wrestlers of certain color and ethnicity might not hold belts for a while until February comes. So, I mean, Tony Khan's got 9 more days until he pretends like he cares about the talent every single year and have them hold it for more than a few weeks.
Dun, dun, dun. Speaking of pretending to care about the talent, we got a promo from Mariah May, and she says that she is the most disrespected champion in AEW. She says that she cannot believe that this company has, allowed Toni Storm to get another title shot, even though she earned it in the match. But anyway, she says that Toni is deranged, which is kind of true. I don't know why she's acting like she can't remember her timeless Toni Storm angle where she was the champion. It's timeless. Everybody knows timeless Toni Storm. But regardless, she will face Toni Storm at Grand Slam in Australia. And she'll probably have to defend her title again, and she'll have to win again. It would be kind of crazy to see Toni Storm, who says she's the Rookie of the Year, lose the title to Mariah May and as timeless Toni Storm, and then win the title again as Toni Storm, like Rebel Toni Storm, like automatically. I wonder if that would make her a 2-time champion, or if the first one doesn't count. I don't know. What say you guys?
Well, I'm just going to say this. With the whole Tony Storm amnesia thing, it also reminds me of, as the kids would say, she's living in her own land of Delulu. So in her mind, she's completely new and blank and fresh and everything to the world of wrestling. She's a total rookie, and she's just going to make it seem like, she doesn't know who Mariah May is and that she looks forward to meeting her so much and so forth. And I watched this on another video of somebody that discussed what happens weekly in women's wrestling. So it's not my personal idea. They think that they can make it the whole thing even more campy and extra by having Mariah hire some person on a lie detector or hire a psychiatrist to see if Tony Storm really does have amnesia, or if she's just living in her own delusional mind and just pretending like she has amnesia, so that she could at one point be like, oh, I remembered everything all along, and just attack Mariah May once and for all once again.
That'll be. I'm interested to see if this is all a ruse. Amnesia storylines always remind me of I don't remember what year this was. I think it was sometime in the 90s where Stephanie McMahon was supposed to marry Test, but they didn't know where they wanted to go with the storyline. So to buy time, they just had her get hit in the head with a garbage can and get temporary amnesia to the point that she could not remember Test and remember that she was in love with him and remember that she was supposed to marry him. So she just had amnesia for 2 weeks while they figured out what they wanted to do with her storyline. That was always pretty funny to me. But what say you, Mad Dog, on this segment?
Yeah, it's actually interesting because when they had the match, I think later on the night, Tony Schiavone actually messed up and actually called Tony Storm Timeless Tony Storm. I caught that in my notes. I'm like, wait a minute, did he just made a slip up there? But no, I like Mariah May. I think she's a great champion, but like the comment said, I think EC said it best. Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, is the women's, the dominant women, champion in AEW. But I do, like I said, like Mariah May, and Tony Storm. I don't know. I personally think this is all kind of a ruse, kind of maybe a swerve, like Strickland, kind of deal. I think she knows everything. And the problem is, I think Tony Khan doesn't know where he wants to go with this story. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. But I think personally, I think they're letting, leading us to be, much more on this. I do believe she knows what's going on. Just who knows, like you said with WWE, who knows where Tony Khan wants to take it. I don't know.
I actually do think I actually think that this is an idea of Tony Storm's. I think that she knows where she wants to take it, and I think that her and Mariah are kind of collaborating on this. I'm sure Tony is involved and he's approved of it, but I think that it's not a coincidence that Tony has been involved in some of the most interesting television. Mariah May as well, who I actually have liked her title reign. I can see why people would say that she's kind of been secondary just because Mercedes is just such a big star that it's hard to not eclipse that. But Mariah May, especially last week when they had that multi-women match to see who was going to face her, realistically, I could see all of those people matching up with her, even the heels, and it being interesting because I think Mariah May, her character, and I think she's really grown in the ring as well. I think she's one of the most entertaining people that they have on the show. And then they've got this story with Tony, and Tony is kind of having the run of her career. Never knows where he wants to go.
That is very true.
By the way, the Tony I was talking about was Tony Storm, but it just clicked to me that they're both named Tony.
Yeah,
when I said that, I actually think that Tony knows what she's doing. I meant like Tony Storm. I think Tony Storm knows where she wants to go with it. I think that she's very heavily involved in writing and directing the story. That's just my theory.
A portion of them are, and I mean, there's Tony Storm, and then they got Tony Schiavone, and then they got Tony Khan. It's like
too many. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we've all got our. Listen, I've got my stuff with Tony Khan, but I'm glad he knows when to hand the pen over, and he handed the pen over to Tony Storm. I need Trump to hand the pen over, but that's a whole other conversation. We got Jeff.
Else isn't here.
We'll get to that off this camera. Jeff Jarrett interviews. So we got an
Yay.
interview with Jeff Jarrett, but it didn't go long because Karen Jarrett interrupts and she tells him point blank, I didn't like that you allowed MJF to kind of bring you down to his level. You shouldn't roll around in the mud with pigs. He says, you know what? I already know what you're saying. I already agree. He heads out to the ring and he tells the crowd, you know what? I shouldn't have engaged on MJF's level. You know, he says that he's going to refocus on what he wants to do, which is become the world champion. Claudio Castagnoli then comes out and attacks Jarrett because, as we know, he's a member of the Death Riders. Moxley is the champion. And he tells Jarrett, you know, stay out of our business. Stay out of Death Riders' business. Jarrett takes that opportunity. He's like, you know, hey, if you're so big and bad, how about I face you next week? And if I win, you got to give me a world title shot against Moxley. And Claudio accepts this. I guess he's like, you know what, a opportunity to beat you to a pulp. I'd love to do that. So, Jarrett's mustache makes me laugh, especially it's like two-toned. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe
it's the style these days. You girls think
know
that's the style.
MJF
Yeah, that's the style.
I'll tell you this: MJF probably also has a big say in what his stories and stuff are. I don't think MJF is boring. I actually just don't care about Jeff Jarrett. I think that's my issue.
Well, I don't care about
you guys.
I don't care about either of them. So,
what? Not even the salt of the earth?
I've never been big on MJF, and I don't really care too much for Jeff Jarrett. Anyways, I've never really been entertained by him. So.
I've never cared about Jarrett either. What about you, Mad Dog? Are you a Jarrett fan? Double J?
Oh yeah, you know I've been liking the story, but you know I've been on the show a couple weeks now, and yeah, I'm even wearing my MJF Wolf T-shirt tonight.
I love that design, by the way. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a cool design. I love this. I love where this is gonna go. This is gonna definitely lead to a big match between them, probably at Grand Slam or maybe at Dynasty. I'll get into that a little bit later tonight. But like I said, yeah, this is definitely gonna lead to a match, and I can't wait because this might be maybe Jarrett's last match because we all know Jeff Jarrett wants to retire. He keeps saying that on the show, and he said, you know, at the beginning of the year, and he is up there in age. So I do see him losing to MJF and MJF taking the retirement out, and honestly it's a good way to go. Jarrett had a great career, WCW, WWE, he was in TNA for a while, and he's back here in AEW. So yeah, it would be a good way to go out on top, just like Sting did last year. So yeah, I like the story, and I want to see where this goes. Absolutely.
I will say, I think
as long as he doesn't pull a Ric Flair and keep saying, I'm retiring. Oh no, I'm coming back for one more match. I'm retiring. One more. I'm coming back. One more time, I promise.
Pull a Fast and Furious. Like, this is the last movie. No, this is the last movie. No, this is the last movie. Oh, really? How many Fast and Furiouses are we going to get?
10 more.
I kind of slightly agree with Mad Dog. This is, I think, a retirement run. And I think I said a few weeks ago, after he announced that he signed a new contract and he was intent on going after the world title, I said, you know what, if even if I don't care about Jeff Jarrett, I think that this story has a lot of potential because there's a very finite end date, so he can basically get everything out that he wants to get. So he can do all of his dream matches. He can have, he can go all out because, he's actually trying to go for the world title. So I think we're probably going to see the best out of Double J in this last run because, there's nothing else to really, do. You got to leave it all in the ring. So maybe he'll change my mind after we get some matches out of him during this run.
NXT and learn to rest.
Why is it free? Why is it free Brit, man? Is it because she's not on TV because they said she had some backstage issues? Who knows?
Well, I mean, they're probably doing the same thing to her that they're doing to Ricky Starks and to Ray Phoenix, which is freezing their contracts and holding them hostage because they don't want to let them go anywhere. Well, so they can't be bigger than they already were when they were there.
Yeah, I don't think that Britt requested a release. I think that
she will in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
You think so?
Yes.
I actually, to be honest with you, I don't think that Britt would ever be a full-time wrestler. She was kind of semi-full-time. I think that she would just go back to being a dentist if she wasn't like in AEW. Because if she were to go to they can
Yeah.
go to TNA and be bigger. Bro, the way
True. TNA,
that is
like
not
TNA's
true at all.
going with
Who
that
would-
new contract that they got with the E. Yeah, that's
with
crazy.
the E.
Listen,
Oh, I
always
love that
say
you're saying the
that
E
with
now.
WWE.
But
If you're leaving,
Well-
go to TNA. Don't go to AEW.
if you're a TNA fan, don't go to AEW.
No, I'm saying for people that have left WWE, if you're leaving, go to TNA. Don't go to AEW.
If you're going to TNA, that's the same as going to WWE at this point.
I
No,
mean,
I-
That's
it
the
is like
gag of
Dolph
it. That's
Ziggler,
the gag.
yeah.
The gag is you're TNA
Dolph
signed
Ziggler's
with
doing
WWE,
really well over there now.
about to be
Um,
number
the
2.
merger stuff.
That's not how it works. That's like saying NXT is number 2. If you're with the E, then
Wait,
you're
what?
the E. TNA
NXT 's
sold out.
not-
TNA
they're
sold
all
its soul.
same.
It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with TNA collabing with WWE to
Right?
get
They
There's
sold
nothing
out.
wrong with it. I'm just
Sold
saying that
out.
you're no longer your own thing. Right? If you said it would be like AEW signing with
WWE on
WWE.
TNA.
Whoa. So wait a minute. So the Ring of Honor thing, literally, Tony Khan bought that. Now that's his. Now
Yeah.
it's AEW.
They're not sellouts.
But they're not allowed to collab with.
Well, first of
but
all, Ring
WWE's
of
not
Honor
allowed to
was-
collab with TNA.
Ring of Honor was out of business. I'm not saying they're not allowed. I'm saying that you can't say you're
TNA was
number
down
2.
their luck too until they
I'm
said
sorry?
we're gonna rebrand this whole thing. They were down on their luck for a while. Impact, they were
Oh, they were.
struggling, and then WWE's like, hey, if you guys rebrand, maybe we'll work with you. And now they are. I mean, look at this.
No, it's not the
like
same.
exciting.
Supporting is what they were doing before. Supporting is what they had with AEW. Signing a partnership deal when basically you become like an unofficial subsidiary. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying that's not the same as being your own company. You're basically the same. Like you're the E now. I'm sorry. Like you gotta hold that. You gotta eat
Listen, we officially see that you are not a fan of the WWE NXT TNA deal going on over here. We get that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can't say I'm number 2 when you're part of the E. That's not how that works.
Basically, I mean, my idea has been number 2 even before this merger. It's been WWE, TNA, NWA, then AEW. And
The
tonight,
pay-per-views stay different, bro.
AEW is number 4 for me.
TNA's not even on network TV, like for real.
It will be soon, actually. Remember, I did do a story a couple weeks ago. They are trying to get a network deal going. Remember, they.
I didn't know that they were suing their provider.
So
Every company is going to try. I mean, the NWA is not going to be able to do that now that NXT is on the CW. So
we got way off topic. We're gonna go to the New York Minute. We got finished with the TNA Minute. We got finished with the I Hate the E Minute, and now we're going to the New York Minute with Chris Jericho. Speaking of Ring of Honor, so Big Bill challenges Will Hobbs to a match on Collision. We will get a response from Will Hobbs on this later in the evening. Spoiler alert, that match does seem like it's going to happen, but with a little bit of a twist. We'll return to that. After this, we got an MJF promo, right? Tyler, I think his name is Tyler Shoot. He's like a local enhancement talent.
Tyler Shoot.
Yeah. MJF came out and basically told him to beat it because I need to speak to the crowd. And he says that, the audience deserves an apology. They deserve an apology from Jeff Jarrett. He says that pro wrestling doesn't love Jarrett anymore. The crowd, the fans, they don't love Jarrett anymore. Big Bill is growing on me. Yeah, he's big, so he's going to grow. The crowd chants Double J, so clearly we have to face It was never that funny, but Maddog. Anyways. So the crowd chants Double J, so clearly they disagree. They do still love Jeff Jarrett. But he says that he offered to help Jarrett win the title with the stipulation that he gets the first, title shot. He didn't do that because he believes in Jarrett or because he likes him. He did that because he felt like Jarrett was easy to manipulate and the easiest to beat. And he, advises him, why not make a deal with the devil? It's the closest you're going to get to winning the title. So he has that response for Jeff Jarrett. Do you guys have any words on that MJF promo?
No, just like I had no words for the Big Bill, Jericho, free bullshit faction.
I typically, when I'll speed past like the little tidbits there.
Listen, I'm just going to say this. You sped past as much as I was on my phone the entire time during that promo. I wasn't paying attention because it bored the hell out of me.
What were you doing on your phone? Were you on band? Were you on Red Note?
Go ahead.
Were you on the Red Note on your phone? Is that what you were doing?
No. I don't use Red Note. I didn't even use TikTok when it started. I didn't even use TikTok when it was called Musically still.
Oh gosh, that's a throwback.
Exactly.
Man,
I'll just go scroll through Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels like a normal person does use TikTok.
I love all of this. I'm telling you, you know, you ladies might not have enjoyed this, but you guys know I'm a big fan of Chris Jericho. Always been, you know, always big fan of the old show. Love it. You know, it seems like him and Big Bill have been having a lot of tension. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a little story going forward there. Maybe they're going to have some sort of match down the line, right?
Leave him and then fight him.
So,
and he's going to lose.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, MJF, you know, like Shay said in the comments, you know, he can come out and say 6 words, but those 6 words he said, though, were so impactful. Everybody in the stadium went crazy. They were like, oh my God, he's here. And then he just up and leaves. So, you know, I always like MJF. You know, is it boring what they're doing? Yeah. But once again, that's the direction Tony Khan's taking you know, the characters right now, or, you know, the wrestlers, whatever you want to call them. But, you know, I always like MJF. I always think he's talented. And, you know, like I said, he's going to go into a match with Jeff Jarrett somewhere down the line. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I enjoyed this segment for sure.
Same here. This is the MJF fan club. And by the nature of you being here, you are now indoctrinated into the MJF fan club.
Woo!
Never have.
You're doing this. I'm doing this. Anyways. Okay, so it was a squash match. As Jeffrey said, Tyler Shute didn't have a
Tyler
chance.
Shute got shot down by Hangman Adam Page, which I won't lie, when he came out, I was like, I really do see the vision. When we did our top 5 wrestling crushes, I really do see the vision.
Thank you.
Listen, I gotta pull this out to put on.
The vibes. Did you see the vision earlier when Zaddy MVP came out? Anyways, not giving me the Okay, so squash match. Great pun. Tyler Shute did not have a shot. And then Christopher Daniels came out. He was wearing a neck brace. The fallen angel has fallen, and he tells Hangman that he is not medically cleared to ever wrestle again. Doctor's orders. And so, yeah, he's like, Hangman, you won. You got what you wanted. My career is over. Are you happy now? Hangman did not look super happy. I don't know if that's because he is now homeless or if it's because he might have some remorse. Who knows? Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. He got shut down.
Not the Dragon Ball Z reference.
Dragon Ball Z, I thought the AEW.
I mean, it makes sense to compare AEW to Dragon Ball Z because some episodes are filler and they just fight for an hour.
That's true. That's true.
And I don't watch it.
Some people need a sensu bean up in here.
I think they did a Dragon Ball Z collab not too long ago. So if I'm not mistaken, they did some sort of like video game Dragon Ball Z collaboration not too long ago. AEW did. Crazy.
Hangman don't even know what he wants.
Well, when you get what you want, but not the way that you want it.
Jeffrey, I'll say this. I don't know if this is a work yet. It possibly could be. Because I also remember when like in the beginning when they were like, what was it, SCU, where Christopher Daniels kind of did a fake out and then he returned. Could be another one of those moments. I guess we'll see. But if this is the end of the Fallen Angel, then, you know, had a nice career. TNA, AEW, got some good stuff. Speaking of having a nice career, we've got Mercedes Moné with her 4 belts. She just won the Rev Pro Undisputed British World title.
Yeah.
I just have to say this. If you call a stack of $1,000 in the thing a band, why don't you just call herself the 4-band CEO? The bands meaning the belts. Why didn't you just do that?
They need to hire you.
Yes.
Or maybe she needs to hire as her personal marketing person.
One of these companies hire me.
So she's got her 4 belts, and Harley Cameron's got a guitar. She comes out with her acoustic guitar, and she's got a song. She sings she serenades her, and she's like, "Please let me fight you. I want to ride on the money train, and I want to
And Mercedes said no.
Dun, 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 dun.
You never won, so why should I fight you?
Exactly. She's like, you've never even won a match. Like,
This year,
literally-
haven't won one last year, and you're never going to win one ever.
my sister in Christ, you're a nobody.
No,
So
Jack,
basically, she said no.
no,
Maybe
you're
if
not
she
talking about
gets
me
the
joining them.
boombox, she can get the boombox and, go outside of Mercedes' window and scream, baby, please. I want to fight you, please. I am down on my knees and I am trying to rhyme, but I can't. Anyways, get the AEW title off Moxley and give him a hardcore title. We don't need no more titles. And hardcore title
AEW has
or
too many as
not,
it is. And the
hardcore
company's
title or
doing
not, you're gonna get some hardcore stuff out of Moxley. Was funny terrible. I actually really loved it. She did a Harley Cameron did another song where she did a promo for AEW's their merch division for Christmas. They were basically trying to promote people buying like merch for Christmas, and she wrote a song, and I thought she did really well. She's very talented. WWE has too many titles.
AEW does. They got singles titles.
I don't watch the E. I will say this: they have like 4 brands, so I can see them having a lot of titles. But yeah, maybe they do. I think too many has to do with whether or not all of them are necessary. So even in that scenario, maybe they do have too many.
Do we really need trios titles in AEW?
No, I agree.
I'm going to actually tell you this. AEW leans very heavily, and this is intentional. They lean very heavily on like gang warfare. They have a lot of factions. And so the trios title had a lot of potential because of that, because they had a lot of strong factions, and they tend to group people together. The problem with the trios title is that they haven't booked it well. I actually think the trios title should exist. I just don't think that they do a good job at positioning the titles. So I'm going to say yes with an asterisk. Yeah, we need it, but we don't need it if you're not going to book it well.
They maybe needed it 2-3 years ago, but they don't need it no more.
I agree.
I
agree with Wrestling Doll on that one, yeah.
Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart. This is round 2. Julia Hart has defeated Jamie Hayter before. Hayter now defeats her in this match, defeats her with the Haterade, so this ties their series. Hayter actually calls out Julia because she's like, can we be real? You attempted to murder me with an arrow. But she's like, you know what? I respect you, though. I respect you because you're a woman who is a badass, and she does what she wants to do. She's like, you're a pretty tough bitch. Those are the verbiage that she used, which is true. I really love Julia Hart. I love Jamie Hayter, too. This is I feel like we say it a lot. The women's division is really hard carrying this show. I love all of the feuds that they have, and I love the talent that they have. And it's not just in ring; they have really, really good characters and stories in the women's division. It's kind of reminding me of how the Knockouts division was with TNA, where they had people who could go in the ring, but they had what carried them was like the characters, and like they had really, really entertaining people. I think that's what AEW has right now with their women's division.
So they have a good women's division, but yet they only had one women's match tonight.
Yeah.
And then they had promos with the 2 champions, and they couldn't bring out other people that they had in catering to have a match for a bit. That's my gripe with tonight.
Yep.
To be fair, they had issues with travel and stuff today. I don't know if that mattered. I don't know if that played a part. The AEW women's division. I highly disagree. That's like the best part of the show.
George is right. It's not good right now.
It's a hot mess.
What's not good about Hayter and Julia? What's not good about
Oh no, the match was great. I'll say it straight up. The match was great.
I'm talking about the story. The story. What's not good about Hayter and Julia? What's not good about Tony and Mariah?
All these backstage conflicts with Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, this one, that one, this woman not being there, this woman being on the air, that woman not being on the air.
All these backstage conflicts. You mean one woman?
Mess.
One
I
person,
mean,
Britt Baker. One
no,
person.
no. I'm saying Thunder Rosa too. I'm saying there's way more, women involved in all of this from what I've been reading all day. Because I've been reading this all day because all these women have been coming out on Twitter saying no, none of this has happened, and some are saying it did happen. So I don't know what to believe, but a lot of them are not being used right now. Now, we can ask where's Soraya? Where is like
She's
I said,
been broken
where
up
is
with.
Britt Baker? Yeah, I heard about that today.
I
TMZ.
had to educate Steven on who her ex-boyfriend is
Right.
yesterday in our group chat because he didn't know
Right.
who he was.
Good for Steve. You know
I
what? You should have. He was living the good life. He was blissfully ignorant. You messed up his whole. You infected him. Don't agree with that, Sheriff. What?
He infects himself by watching AEW because he's bored and then dogging it 5 seconds later.
That's his hobby. His hobby is
Jeffrey. Jamie Hayter doesn't look like Becky Lynch in her gear. She's going for that mod 60 thing, which is good because she's from England and that's where the mod style originated and became popular in England. But moving on.
They
And
call
also
her the AEW Becky Lynch. That's what everybody calls Jamie Hayter, the AEW Becky Lynch. Not sure if you
ladies know that.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I can see it now.
I do.
I think Hayter. I really wanted us to get that Brit feud. It's looking like I gotta be honest, and I'm gonna say this. I'm a fan of Britt Baker. I actually really do like her, and listen. I was in the trenches, girl. I was defending you down, Britt Baker. You let me. If this is true, you let me down. Like you really couldn't. Because Tony is to a fault very forgiving. He kept CM Punk around after the first thing when he really didn't need to. You got Tony fed up to the point that he doesn't even want to book you after he invested so much money and time into you. You're basically, I still believe that Britt Baker is kind of the heart and soul of the AEW women's division. She's kind of the best product, homegrown product they've pushed out of that division besides maybe Julia Hart. I guess you could say Mariah May, but because she's still new, I'm going to say Britt Baker. Britt Baker's proven that she can sell merch. She had a good title reign. Like I really wanted to see more of her. And if we don't get to see more of her because of behavior reasons, damn Brittany. I'm not saying Britt. I'm saying Brittany. Brittany Baker.
Government name.
Yeah. I'm not going to Brittany Baker.
Not the shoot name.
It's just the orange. Mariah May is going
like I said, her hair color does not a wrestler comparison make. Even though I used to say that Blair Davenport looked like Jamie Hayter.
Supposedly she just came
that's hearsay. That's
on
hearsay.
Twitter tonight saying that's not true, by the way. So that's why
it's crazy that y'all ran with that. Y'all tried to say she cheated on him with Christian. Y'all got up here and said anything. Christian,
y'all ain't shit. Yeah. Isn't he married?
Wait. Time out. Who said that Britt Baker cheated on Adam Cole with Christian?
That was a real rumor.
What?
That caught legs.
What world?
In the wrestling world, y'all ain't nothing.
World, maybe, yeah. In Tony Storm's weird mind, maybe that happened. Not real.
Yeah, they tried to say anything, bro. Y'all was not.
And we
I
get
agree with that, Jack.
But I agree with this. I do think Mariah May will beat Tony. I do actually believe that too. Which would be interesting because it's like, what's your source? Tell me who you work for.
Don't look at me,
bro. This is
TMZ. I said, on Twitter, she was the one who said that all the allegations were false. So
all the allegations are.
Everybody
false.
says that when rumors come out that they're false, and sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's false that it's false.
Right. Can we talk about the fact that Bill Clinton stood up in front of the nation
and said, "America, I did that woman."
Knowing damn well he hit it. Come on, bro. See, you see the way men lie. Anyways, Will Hobbs promo. He didn't lie. He responds to Big Bill, and he says that I accept your challenge, but you never know when you might see me. You could see me in the parking lot. Is there going to be a parking lot brawl between Will Hobbs and Big Bill? Maybe that's the match we're going to see on Collision, maybe. I guess we'll see. We also got
comment of Bad Guy Jack saying, take them to the NXT parking lot so they can fight it out over there, since apparently everybody gets kidnapped and or killed over there or gets thrown on a car.
Y'all need to speak to HR about that. Why is your parking lot so unsafe? What is going on over at NXT? Okay, why is the cartel
my
camped in the parking lot ready to kidnap niggas? What is going on?
Girl, I wish I knew.
Uh,
All right, so
I don't even know, and supposed to be the news guy, and I still don't understand any of
I
that.
don't think anybody's gonna ever understand that. That's gonna be one of the greatest kept secrets in wrestling right now.
I have
Thank
a
you,
secret.
Shawn
I have a
Michaels.
secret that I need to reveal.
I don't think Shawn Michaels even knows.
I have
Oh,
a
boy.
secret that I need to share.
Sport is dangerous. That's why. Yeah.
I need to be
Hey,
honest.
it's not all dangerous. It just depends on where you go.
Heard some.
I messed up. That's my say. I missed a match. I missed Swerve and AR Fox. The only reason I remembered that I missed that is because I know that there's a Swerve promo coming up, and I was like, wait a second, Swerve wrestled on this show, and yeah, I forgot to.
Lie.
When I drive, yeah, I swerved right past this match, and I went to the next segment. This happened before the Jericho segment. So, Swerve Strickland, he faced AR Fox. He actually has a long history with AR Fox. AR Fox used to be kind of a mentor to him, but the student has become the teacher because Swerve has blossomed into like a world champion, a big time star. He's a top guy in AEW. And so they did have a nice match. Ricochet had to fuck it up. He came out with his scissors. He attempted to attack. He attempted to attack Swerve with the scissors.
The Acclaimed is dead.
Say what?
Did he take the scissors and is using that as part of his character work now because the Acclaimed is dead?
Listen, the custody battle over the scissors is ongoing. Okay.
Wait, there's actually
I would have grabbed my
battle
battle
for that
I
one.
was like, now stick with this.
There's a lot going on with the office equipment over in AEW. The HR is also aware of that. There's a lot going on in your parking lot. There's a lot going on in our office. Okay, the office equipment is a weapon now, but it didn't get used because Nana had a pipe. Where he got a pipe, do not ask me. But he chased Ricochet off with said pipe. Swerve was able to win. He takes Fox's hand to like kind of help him up. So. There's no beef or bad blood between them. But while he's doing that, we see on the screen that Nana is up against the wall, and Ricochet has the scissors to his throat.
Threatening to cut him.
Being held at scissor point is crazy. Like, imagine someone like, what if somebody was like, "Oh, run your pockets," and they got scissors? Like, I'm like, Rock beats scissors, boom. Like, what are we talking about? Anyways, he's like, you embarrassed me last week when you guys did what you did and you had your little chair. And so he's like, you'll hear from me next week, right? So let's fast forward to Swerve's promo where he responds to this, right? He's like, so you held my, manager at scissor point to say I'll see you next week in Atlanta. You might see me sooner than Atlanta. Maybe Collision. But yeah, any words?
Why was Ricochet wearing a shiny Why is he wearing a sequin turtleneck? Is he trying to take Christian's gimmick and wear a turtleneck too?
That was ridiculous.
But make it his own by making it all glittery with sequins?
It's cold out here, okay? He needs that turtleneck.
What?
He didn't need no sequins in it. But anyways.
What about you, Mad Dog?
This whole thing was just weird. I mean, the match was good up until they just had, like you said, Ricochet had to go screw it up. But this whole Ricochet thing, this is just weird. This is him, trying to come into a company, and Tony Khan, once again, has no idea what to do with them. This is why all these WWE guys who go over to AEW, just Tony's like, I have big ideas for you. And then Tony's like, and then all of a sudden they do these ideas. They put them on TV, and then it's like, it's not a good idea. So I don't like this. I do like the Swerve stuff as always. AR Fox, he's great. This match was good up until the end. I just thought the end was just too silly, man. I mean, just classic AEW, just as I would say, just shenanigans they really don't need.
I'm gonna tell you, I actually really like this Ricochet character and storyline. Am I tripping? Is that just me?
I know.
All the trolling.
I don't.
I really love. To be honest, this is the most interesting Ricochet has been in years.
Yes.
Like this is the most character he's kind of really shown in years, and I
Yeah.
like that he's kind of leaned into, I guess, the corny aspects of what people think about him. Because I always say
he gets corny on Twitter. I've seen the pictures. He gets corny and all the stuff that people say to him. So now he's embracing it, and he's just being what they say that he is. So he's just taking what they're saying and putting it into his character work. So it's making him a little bit more entertaining to watch for the first time in a while. So I will say that, and I will say that Tony Khan doesn't know what to do with about 45% of his talent back there. I always say it for former WWE stars, do not go to AEW because you'll be utilized well for a couple weeks, but you'll get put in the back in catering for the rest of the time, and you'll get brought up maybe once every 4 or 5 weeks.
What about the ones that didn't happen?
I was about to say, but there's that have made it work for them. And that have
some of them. I mean, not all of them, though.
That's my point.
Tony Storm, Adam Cole. I mean, just only a few of them. I mean, really. Mercedes Moné, but look how big Sasha Banks was before. I mean, Sasha Banks was in freaking Star Wars before she went to AEW. I mean, that was pretty big. So
they didn't even want her to be in Star Wars, by the way.
Stars, I mean the ones underutilized on that brand. And that come over here.
Love Star
Wars. She's just fine over there, even though her title reigns didn't always last that long, which always annoyed me.
But yeah.
Now she's a 4-band belt girl.
She's a cuatro girl. But yeah, I actually I agree with, because I say that for most wrestlers. I think that you always should try to be the you that they expect you to be, because it's easier for people to buy in when they expect you to be a certain way anyway. It's kind of like Randy Orton. I always use this example because when he first kind of burst on the scene, they're like, oh, he's a second generation guy who has everything handed to him. He's spoiled, this, that, and the third. He's like, oh, really? Okay, so then I'm just going to be that on camera because you think that about me anyway. So when I act that way, you'll believe it, right? I think that Ronda Rousey actually kind of employed that strategy when she had that really good heel run that one time when she was in the triple threat at WrestleMania. I think that was her, Charlotte, and someone else. Was that Sasha?
Becky.
Oh, that was Becky. Yeah, the really only good run she kind of had in wrestling was when she kind of leaned into it. But yeah,
her last run sucked.
That's the tag title. Probably should have taken the title.
I was very happy, and I called
WCW jobber Daniel
Garcia. She even came back.
Daniel Garcia, hasn't been used much.
But
the last time she had that feud with Jamie Hayter when Jamie Hayter returned, and she put over Hayter, and then I don't know.
I mean, one of the last other things I remember too was her feuding with Ruby Soho.
Yeah.
Yeah, who just had a baby. Congrats.
Yeah, just had a baby. Yep.
And then I guess she got injured too.
So we have one segment before the main event.
I'm just going to say this. I wonder what her new theme song will be if she changes it, because she's probably not going to use her current theme song anymore since that is her ex-boyfriend's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I didn't think about that.
It's a good song, but if the relationship didn't end well, I think that she'll probably change it. But if it did end fine, then she'll probably still use it.
Right.
That'll show how good or bad the relationship ended.
Oh, was it? Did we end on good terms where I can use the song, or did we end on bad terms where I gotta get some other shit?
Well, supposedly he wrote the song for her. That's what I heard years ago. Supposedly, that's what she said. I think in an interview, she said that he wrote the song for her to use for AEW. So I don't know. That's a good question now, actually. Yeah.
You gotta think about these things. That's why you gotta be careful when you're in the public eye of letting the world know who you're dating. And if people know who they are and they're professional, and if you use anything of theirs in your work, and when you break up, people are going to wonder and ask, are you still going to use that even though you're not with this person anymore?
See.
I agree, yeah.
Final segment before the main event. We got a promo from House of Black. Brody King and Buddy will face Gates of Agony. Julia Hart was with them in this promo. House always wins. Julia Hart is very much still a member of House of Black. even though we really don't get to see her with them because, she's working through the women's division. It'll be interesting to see if we get another woman in House of Black. I think that Sky Blue was supposed to be that before she unfortunately went down with her injury, but I guess we'll see. Maddog.
I mean, the house doesn't always win no more. I mean, people caught it in her theme song that it went from the house always wins to the heart always wins.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
Follow your heart.
I thank women's wrestling fans for all the stuff that I find on social media, and they point all this stuff out to me, so it makes me a little bit more educated on that.
I'm glad that you pointed that out because I actually didn't realize that they made that difference.
I didn't realize it when I was watching it either. Then again, I was watching one of those websites where I can watch it for free because I can't watch it on TBS because I don't got no TV subscription. I'm not paying $70-some a month to watch something once a week. But
I think also that's a key point because I think Hayter at some point in her promo was like, you're kind of like, you're on your own now, which I think was a nod to the Sky Blue thing, but also maybe a nod to the Malachi Black thing because he's no.
Well, I mean, they said in their promo, we got no losers, we got no gods.
Yeah, to kind of lead you to know where to go. You're kind of on your own, even though she is with the other two still. So I thought that was interesting, and to take the house out of her, I guess, theme song. Maybe we see a split with them at some point. I'm interested to see how that would kind of play out.
I mean, they're trying to do a whole thing of being a faction with no leaders or anything, so we'll just see how that goes. Somebody's going to wind up taking a leadership role whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, and I honestly think, ladies, it's going to be Brody King. I think he needs to step up here, and the reason why is because Malachi Black is missing. Supposedly he might be, I heard something earlier today, it might be, someone mentioned him, he might retire. They talked about that. I
literally just saw him wrestle 2 weeks ago.
So he was talking about maybe retirement last couple of years to people. Outside the AEW, some people say he might go back to the E. Bringing them back up again. If he gets released out of the contract, which I know for a fact is coming up soon. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Malachi, but right now he's not really being used, and I think it's for a reason. And now he's out of the promos, and there's something definitely going on behind the scenes with him and with the whole thing. And honestly, I'm going to get to the bottom of it because I really like Malachi Black, and I would love to see him make a return in Triple H's WWE. Now, it'd be really, really cool, especially with the whole Wyatt Six thing going on over there. I think that'd be really neat to see, as long as Triple H does it well. Or
listen,
TNA,
stop fantasy booking niggas to WWE. Stop taking you poaching. This is tampering.
No, it's not tampering.
I've seen the stuff being said too that he could go back. I've seen articles of possibilities for people like
TNA, even
surprised, where they could go. Like,
was Brody King ever in WWE?
Thinking like he could be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble this year. I don't know. I'm not confirming nor am I denying.
That would be cool.
Because I really don't know. I don't follow dirt sheets because
was Brody King ever in WWE?
Brody King, not to my knowledge.
No, I don't think so. I think he was in NWA. I could be wrong though.
But I will send you to that video of that match I saw Malachi in 2 weeks ago. So
nice. Before we do our news segment, I'm going to try to play a commercial here because y'all thought y'all was getting all scot-free with no commercials. Absolutely not. So we'll be right back.
I'm trying to answer your question.
What does Ricochet have to do?
You're killing poor Vinny. Look at him. He's caught COVID because of all your nonsense.
Thank you, Willie. He is smoother than McCarthy. He comes out. You know what? Vinny, let me ask you a question. Right? Steve's going to answer for me. Name another wrestler that has the aura, right? That's the popular word nowadays. Has the aura of Pinnacle. He comes out, they give everybody new pyro now. He comes out and he smooth walks. Right? You do that when you fixing a sub.
My guy, listen, right? Call it what it is. The man had trouble getting out of his jacket.
Because he was so excited. Daniel Priest has trouble getting his hands off the feet. Like, what are you saying? Venomous Vincent, why haven't you said anything? Stop letting Big Daddy Moose talk over you.
Yo soy from La Hermandad. I can be real. I'm going to call it like it is. I love
why is he
Pentel Cero Miedo.
Hey, guess what?
Let's be critical.
Freckles, could you calm down, okay? Could you?
Listen, I'm going to answer the question. I know what Steve. I know where Steve's coming from. And okay. I really do feel like
he was better when he was interrupting.
I think Ricochet shit the bed leaving WWE, and they're saying that his promo skills have gotten better, which I don't see it. I don't know where it is at. And with Penta, I think Penta gets over way better because he's bilingual and he can relate to the crowd. There's a lot of Spanish and Puerto Rican that are fans. But here's the thing, though.
In San Jose.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
I will say this to Steven. There are plenty of Spanish people everywhere. So don't be talking like that about it, especially about your people, okay? So
Mic drop.
and I can say that because I'm one of those people.
Speaking of
I
mic
agree
drop,
with Vincent about the whole Ricochet thing. I'm kind of on his side. The whole Ricochet thing to me just makes no sense. Said earlier in the show. I don't like it. I don't like the way he's just being so corny. It kind of reminds me of the whole Dean Ambrose, and that made him leave WWE to go be, the big John Moxley, the big bad king, as he calls himself, of the company. So, or a king of AEW. He said.
Sometimes you just gotta go through a corny phase or a corny thing in life, and then find what works for you in your niche that makes you bigger and better. I had that. It's called every guy I was ever in a relationship with.
ooh, burn. Hey, Maddog, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt.
Hey guys, what's up?
I already used the joke. I can't do it again.
Well, been here all night, so I'm not going to say that. But I do have to report on something I did just find the last couple minutes while that commercial break was. I do want to say there was only 2,723 tickets available for AEW, and they sold 2,550 tickets tonight in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I did want to do that. I'm going to start doing that, the ticket sales, because EC said something about how can you fill a stadium. Yeah, it wasn't that great. Again, attendance hasn't been that great, as you all know.
They actually sold out last week. But
they sold once again. They sold out in a small arena. I've been saying this for weeks.
I'm sorry that we didn't put 2,000 people in our 1,500 seat arena. That's my bad.
I mean, they're using these smaller arenas anyway. Speaking about women's,
that way you can sell out tickets.
I agree. Speaking of women's wrestling here, Alexa Bliss apparently is not being used at all. The last time we saw her was in the 23 Royal Rumble. Apparently, she was supposed to come back a couple weeks ago with the Wyatt Six during the whole Raw Netflix thing, but apparently they scrapped it. And now they're moving the Wyatt Six over from what I heard today. They're moving them over to SmackDown. So I don't know if we're going to see Alexa Bliss at all. A couple weeks ago, I reported on the show she is training at the Performance Center. So I don't know where this is going to go. I would like to see her back. I love Alexa Bliss. Always have. Bowling for Soup actually did a song about her. If you ladies never heard it, it's a great song. Go look it up. Or if not, I'll send it to you guys after the show's over. So another one I have here is WrestleMania 43. Everyone's talking about WrestleMania 41, 42. We know where it's going to be. But WrestleMania 43, a lot of people have been saying it might be in Indianapolis, Indiana, where they're having the Royal Rumble and they're having SummerSlam next year.
How the hell are we booking 43?
So
41 ain't happened.
Well, remember, we're on 41 this year, so it's not too far away. It's only a couple of years away here. So I am very excited about this. Now, another interesting story about AEW, Wrestling Zone reported that Las Vegas informed them that AEW had plans to run Ring of Honor Supercard in the city the weekend of WrestleMania, but now apparently AEW is backtracking on that, and now those plans have been scrapped. So I don't know why they're doing that, but that is interesting that they canceled Ring of Honor over Mania weekend. Maybe they're scared of the who knows. AEW
You
also
wish,
revealed
Mad Dog.
today.
You wish.
Also
Yeah,
revealed
goals.
today. Also revealed today that their brand new, well, not brand new, but their pay-per-view Dynasty is going to be in WWE territory, or the East territory, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A lot of hardcore ECW fans, ECW fans are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'm kind of like, wow, this is going to be big, because this is going to be April 6th, and our very own Cactus Katie, shout out to her. She said earlier she might go. Hopefully she goes to the show. I told her maybe I'll end up going to the show. I don't know yet. But I'm excited for this. This is the first time they've ever been to Philadelphia.
Well,
I'm excited.
they did a Ring of Honor show there, but yeah.
Ring of Honor, but not actual AEW. This is really big. This is huge, WWE turf. I mean, Tony Khan stepping up big time.
Hold
going
on.
back,
Ed, I'm sorry to tell you, but unless their pay-per-view buys
over the
drop,
pay-per-view max,
they're never going to do that. Unless their pay-per-view buys stop doing well, they're not going to drop the price for no real reason. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, I have a story here about Netflix. So, later on. So, we'll see. But anyway, so the next story I have here is AJ Styles. This is really interesting. AJ Styles, we haven't seen him in a while because he's hurt. We know he's hurt. But apparently, right before he got hurt, apparently his contract was ending. And now they're saying since he's hurt, WWE might actually now extend the time because he's still hurt. So I'm not exactly sure where that's going to go, but I'm very I'm hopeful to see AJ Styles back. I'm hoping at the Rumble. I really want to see him back full time, but he keeps getting hurt. This next story, we were talking about, different wrestlers being trapped inside AEW. One of those wrestlers, as you ladies know, is Rey Fenix. And apparently his merchandise was pulled from AEW shop the other night. And I actually kind of noticed this one myself. I had it, in my notes here. But I was on the shop the other night looking at more John Moxley t-shirts. I'm a big fan of John Moxley. I'm not going to lie. And I looked at him like, Rey Fenix, it's off. Yeah. So I wonder where that's going to lead, because Penta, his brother, made just a huge debut on Raw a couple weeks ago. Everybody went crazy for his debut. So I'm really excited to see where Rey Fenix is being pulled from the shop is going to go. Is he another one trapped in Tony Khan's trap of wrestlers? I have no idea. But if he gets out, goes to WWE, they could be a tag team. They can go for the tag champions over there together in WWE. And I also heard today, according to LuchaLibre.com, a lot of luchadors are upset at Tony Khan because of they're not being used in AEW. And Penta made this huge debut over in WWE a couple weeks ago.
Who told you that?
Like I said, LuchaLibre.com was the source. I don't know who they get their sources from, but that's where I read the article.
Everyone who's a luchador in AEW is mad.
Most of them, yeah.
Very
Most of them, yeah. Now, there's a lot of them not being used right now, and it goes back to a lot of the people in AEW are not being used back there, are just stuck in catering because Tony Khan doesn't know what to do with his staff.
They're not in catering. They're not in catering. They're probably wrestling elsewhere. But yeah,
some aren't. Tony Khan's very strict with that. I do want to bring this up. Tony's very strict. He canceled a lot. I just heard he just canceled one of the wrestlers that was supposed to do some sort of independent thing. Just got canceled because of Tony Khan.
I talking about Ricky Starks with GCW.
Ricky Starks got pulled out of being in GCW.
Yep.
He is not. Well, I think they made up. I'm not sure, but him and
Ricky Starks requested
him and I'm not talking about him and Ricky. Him and Tony and GCW had some beef.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're on better terms. Yes, I
Oh.
know that for a fact. Ricky Starks and Tony Khan. Oh no, I have a story here.
Oh,
I
Ricky's out of there. Ricky's just waiting.
Probably not.
Good. TNA, man. Go to TNA finally. Go somewhere where you actually be used and somewhere you could be a star. I mean, like, EC said earlier, TNA is going to be the second biggest. I can only imagine seeing Ricky Starks in TNA or just him showing up on NXT.
Get some television and then talk to me about second biggest. Get some television.
Second biggest. Yeah. I mean, look what I have here. I mean, here, okay, fine. I'm going to scroll down. By the way, I did want to touch on this. The reason why Hangman Adam Page was used tonight was because Samoa Joe and Nick Wayne couldn't get to the show because of flight travels, because like you ladies said earlier, because of the winter storm that happened. So that's what happened there. Speaking of TNA, going to be the second biggest after the WWE contract merger, whatever collaboration thing you signed, they are going to be holding a live Impact episode, TNA Impact at Full Sail University. I think Wrestling Dolls might be familiar with that. That's the home of the NXT brand.
Well, it's the former home of the NXT brand. They have their shows at the Performance Center.
Right. They still train there, though, I believe. I could be wrong.
No, they train at the Performance Center.
Oh, okay. All right. But anyway, so they're going to be holding at the Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. Tickets will go on sale February 20th, followed by a TNA Impact tapings on Friday, February 21st. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. So yes, so TNA is actually going to be using.
I think it's this is peak.
This is great.
This is peak E-fan delusion. I think it's crazy how you can get. You can get $170 million. You can have primetime television on actual TV. You can sell out thousands of tickets. You can put 80,000 fans in a building, and people will say that TNA, who ain't done shit in years for real, is number 2 over you. That is peak fan fan delusion. Like, man, I don't understand that.
Even though they have a subscription thing where you have to pay $9.99 a month to watch their live shows and their pay-per-views, let us live in our delulu.
You know what? I will tell you this.
I agree.
It would be great for me as a payer if they put everything on Max and like you could just pay $9.99 and like you can see it, like that would be
but then
do that with Ring of Honor, right?
Their extra money from not
Thank you. I be feeling like I'm the crazy one up here sometimes.
We're wrestling fans. We're all crazy.
Yeah, yes. The next one I have here is about Ricky Starks, right? So Ricky Starks, this is nuts, man. A bunch of sources said he tried to ask for release today. Tony Khan, I heard this right before the show, said no. So Tony Khan denied it. These two have been at odds. Ricky has been. It's weird, man. He'll go on social media. He'll go on Twitter. I always see it, or Instagram. He'll say something, then he deletes it. Then he'll say another thing. So someone calls him, calls it out, saying, and then he'll delete it again. This has been a back and forth. And honestly, Tony Khan, just let the man out of his contract already, please.
I agree. I want to see him in TNA already. Should let Ricky go. I think Tony should let Ricky go, especially
this man is the king of being petty. And this is another thing that the kids say, he's being petty. He's not going to give Ricky what he wants by letting his ass go. He's probably just going to torture him and have him in that contract for so damn long that eventually he'll have no choice but to let him go or extend the contract to where he really can't go nowhere because he doesn't want that man working nowhere else because it's one of the homegrown stars that he's made so big and he doesn't want him getting bigger nowhere else. So before you know it, we're going to see Ricky Starks merchandise being pulled. And I just want to say this, for the bullshit excuse that Tony Khan said about Ray Phoenix, about his thing, that not getting proper medical attention, saying that, we can't understand Ray Phoenix because of his accent. Bitch, you had that man with you in your company for ages, and you can't understand what he says. You have people over there in your company that probably speak Spanish that could translate for you. I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses. That is shame to me and to many fans out there of Latino and of Latin descent that watch wrestling, and many that are luchador fans.
Shame. I actually didn't. I see. I'm not up on the dirt shit. I actually didn't know that happened. He said that he couldn't understand his accent, and that is why
he couldn't understand him. That he needed medical help. He had explained it. He couldn't understand what Ray Phoenix was saying. Bullshit, Tony Khan.
You can't understand Ayudame.
I don't care.
I don't speak no Spanish, and I know Ayudame. Like, come on, y'all.
Yes, thank you.
Help me. Help
Exactly.
me. Who is that? Who is that?
mean-
Kevin Hart? Help me, nigga. Like, what does he need to say?
uh,
Preach the
And if
brand.
anybody wants to clip what I said about Tony Khan in regards to Ray Phoenix, do it. Do it. And if anybody sees it, I don't give a damn.
Let Ricky
like
go.
I said,
To be
I
honest,
just let him all
I-
go.
Hashtag let Ricky go.
I might,
Yeah.
I might be in the minority on this. I think that I think he's keeping Ray for personal reasons. I think
He is keeping
Yeah.
Ray for personal
Same.
reasons.
He's mad.
Same
I think
way
he's
with
keeping Ricky for
Ricky.
reasons that have
Same.
nothing to do with Ricky. I think he's keeping Ricky for reasons that have nothing to do with Ricky. He should just let Ricky go.
I think it's all personal to Tony Khan, to Britt Baker not being used, to just everything. To Ray
I
Phoenix,
don't think
to
the Brit one is
just,
personal.
I think it's
personal and business.
Yeah. I think all of this is business. He doesn't want these stars who are huge, stars in this company, AEW, to go over to WWE. Look what Penta
At least
did.
they're homegrown.
Or I'll also say
Oh,
this
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think Tony came in the business in good faith, trying to do certain things, and I think that he's.
good at first.
I think that
Now it's not
I
helpful.
think that he's been burned in a lot of ways, and I don't think that in a lot of ways, I don't think that he was built for pro wrestling because I think he's been burned in a lot of ways, and he didn't react very well to that. Because if this was 2019, if this was 2020, if this was even 2021, he probably would have just let these people go. I mean, it's like when he let William Regal go because William gave him some sob story, but it was like a lie, and he's like, really, like. He probably feels burned, and he's like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm gonna just be on Demon Time now. Because when I tried to be nice, no one gave a fuck. You said I was on coke, and I didn't give a fuck. So I guess I'm just Vince now. Which there's better ways to. Tony, don't be like that, Tony. We don't want another Vince, Tony.
No, I agree with both of you ladies on this whole thing, but the biggest burn I think that really screwed up, and I've been saying it for years, especially on the show, is when Cody left. When Cody left, AEW, WWE, I think that's when Tony Khan said, okay, I'm going to try and keep all the people I can on my roster so I have it stacked. But when you're not using these people on the roster, that's when you should end up letting them go. But like both of you ladies says, well, it's a business choice by him. He doesn't want these people to have success elsewhere. So, Malachi Black's also included in that, another big one. Anyway, so the last story I have here, Hollywood Reporter said that Netflix is raising their prices. Again, I'm a little upset about this because this has to do mostly with WWE, but because WWE, Raw every week, and apparently now the new standard tier is going to go up to, I believe it says $7.99, and I believe the new premium tier is going to be increased by $2 at $25, and the standard plan is increasing to standard plan with ads for I believe monthly is going to be $17.99, so 18 from 15. So because of the whole WWE thing, like I said, they're increasing the prices, and I'm wondering if Max is going to do that with AEW now. That's going to be very interesting to watch now that Netflix is doing it because it was so successful. I mean, Raw on Netflix was huge deal a couple weeks ago. They had huge numbers, I believe, from what I read earlier today. And now they're gonna have I wonder if AEW is gonna do the same with HBO Max. I wonder if they're gonna up it from I think someone said the $9.99 that they have it currently right now.
I hope not. I used to pay for YouTube TV so I could watch these live shows. They went up to what? They went up a lot. They used to charge about $60. I think they're already up to like $80 or $90 a month. I canceled
And that's why I don't pay.
And then I went
watch something once a week on YouTube TV. I will struggle gladly either on Twitch or on the same website I used tonight to watch AEW, which wasn't as much of a struggle as it was watching NXT, but you can tell how much people were watching tonight.
Not you snitching on the plug. And then I went to Sling TV.
I'm not a gatekeeper.
Which was a lot less. It was around $30 a month, but then they went up to like 50, 60. And so now I'm on HBO Max, which is a lot less. I think I pay, is it like 9 or is it 12?
Yeah,
Like,
9.
It's
Yeah,
a lot. It's a lot.
yeah.
Like going from they up to 80. See what I'm talking about?
Listen, I
And
used
so
to
I'm down to
$10.
$10. Like,
Okay, that's fine.
really
I'm
happy.
not paying $10 to have no commercials when my pay-per-views come out. I don't care. Plus, it gives me a chance to go to the bathroom when I need to.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point.
I agree with that. And the last thing I just want to say real quick, if you guys like my segment, if you guys like what I do here at UPR, please like, share, and subscribe to our Patreon. I know no one's brought that up tonight, so I want to bring that up real quick about all that. And that's all I have for this week. Thank you, ladies, for having me on all night. I had a blast.
You're not gonna advertise the UPR OnlyFans?
We have one of those. We have one of those.
Anyways,
Chris didn't tell me that. No.
Who has the better seat?
Wow. He's keeping me out of the loop of these things. Wow. Yeah,
Yep,
you
it
learn
was a
something new
secret.
every day, everybody. And learn
It was the
something
worst
new.
kept secret, just like Pence's debut.
Yeah, just like Cody's debut in WWE a couple of years ago.
We have
Worst
the
kept
Well,
exclusive
his
Ricky
return
Starks'
to
Ricky Starks
WWE. People
WWE
keep
debut.
forgetting. Cody Rhodes was WWE first. Then he went and created AEW.
I remember.
He came
I have a
back to
picture of him
WWE.
as Stardust in my room. I gotta send it to you, ladies. Oh my god, yeah.
I
He's
remember
wearing
going
the
to
mask from
that
Legacy.
very
It was
first
great.
that very first Arthur Ashe show. I was the only person in that building cheering for Cody. AEW fans, y'all were wrong for that. That was the day in New York City. That was the day y'all
Everybody
turned on
starts
him.
booing Cody
It was
Rhodes.
never the same after that. I was so excited for that match, and then he came out, and I'm like, yeah, and bro, New York City, bro, y'all let me down, bro. All I heard was boo. I said, damn, shit was never the same after that.
Listen,
I
they
was like,
that man
okay,
for a
well.
long time.
Fun
And when
fact,
he left,
I remember.
that one hurt. I actually was so disappointed that Cody left because I was a fan. He was my favorite. But I you know what? I kind of figured he would do it because the fans didn't like him. There was nothing else to really do because he fucked himself out of winning the title. Like from the first time that he was even in AEW, he was like, "Oh, if I lose, I'll never challenge for the title," because he was trying to appease you bad faith fucks who were gonna turn on him anyway. He was like the top babyface in the business. He should have won the title. This is sour grapes. Anyways.
Listen, let it be sour grapes. They've all been sour grapes when they couldn't have Cody Rhodes turn heel like they wanted and booed the crap out of him because he said he didn't want to turn heel over there. And then he left and he's been the babyface that he's wanted to be over in AEW for years.
I mean, I was at MSG, right? And they came out. They ejected this man. But when he came back after the show, he had the biggest freaking pop in over, I think it was what they said, 20-something thousand were there for SmackDown last year when I went. It was incredible. And then he held up his father's belt. I'll send you ladies the pictures. I have some. They're not the greatest, but I have pictures of him holding up his father's his one angel belt. And man, it was a moment. It was incredible just to see Cody live in person in Madison Square Garden, where his father won the belt years ago. Was just incredible. And I'm a huge Cody fan myself. I have a poster of Cody on my wall here. I gotta send it to you ladies.
In the chat,
yeah.
I've seen Cody at MSG too. This was when he was in WWE the first time. This was a house show. I actually think it was a holiday house show, and he did like a backflip off of a steel cage. I have a photo of it on my phone, but that feels like such a long time ago. That was Cody when he was a Phidias. AEW fans are fickle. Yeah, wrestling fans are fickle.
Wrestling fans are fickle, point blank, period.
You guys watching on February 15th?
Worse. Depends. Do I have to pay
the pay-per-view actually
$200 for it? Then no. And also, I've reviewed 2 AEW pay-per-views, and I refuse to watch another AEW pay-per-view because they are too fucking long. They take forever, and I want to fall asleep like so quickly into it because I am so tired.
I agree. They're so long. They're like
watch
6 hours.
Just watch the ones that are in New York. They have to leave by midnight, or it's like a fine. It's illegal. So those shows won't go super long.
Well, I do have great news for both of you ladies. Actually, I do have a little extra thing I did not add on to my thing because Chris thought we go too long. Hopefully, we're not. I don't know. He might yell at me.
We're at an hour and 19. But he's not here, so who cares?
So anyway, according to a bunch of sources, it turns out it will not be a pay-per-view. It will be on TNT, and it's going to be an hour delay because the NBA All-Star game that night. The NBA All-Star game will be on TNT that night. AEW Dynamite, I think Grand Slam or whatever the heck they're calling this. I don't even know anymore.
It's Grand Slam.
Collision. Yeah. Will be right after that on an hour tape delay. So, because remember, 21 hours ahead there in Australia. So no matter what, it's going to be on tape delay because it's in Australia, first of all, and two, the NBA All-Star game. So, yeah.
They said it's going to be on Max. They'll show it on Max.
Max.
I don't know if the Max.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if the Max will be in real time, and then the TNT will be on tape delay. I don't know if that's how it's.
I don't know. I didn't hear that today. I just heard the whole thing was going to be on tape delay because I thought, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you ladies heard wrong. I don't know. I thought they used the TBS and the Max stream. I thought it was the same, except for the commercials. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
They are. Yeah, there typically are. I don't know if that's the same for a tape delay though. If that makes sense, but. Anyways,
yeah,
we have our main event time. Chris is gonna be mad at us. It's 1:20. We're just getting.
Who cares? He's not here.
So it's Adam Copeland and PAC. PAC is representing the Death Riders. So, PAC all night throughout the bastard. Yes, the bastard PAC. This bastard all night. He was targeting Cope's neck. Cope had to cope with the fact that his neck was targeted all night. I have to cope with the fact that his new ring. I had to watch this. Listen, Copeland did cope well because he won. That didn't matter because the Death Riders actually came on the screen and they showed that they had kidnapped the Rock and Roll Express and FTR. So I guess we have kidnapping issues over here on AEW too. Where is the HR officials? So they come out and they attack Cope, Lynn, Adam, and Jay White comes out to try to help him, but it's a numbers game. I don't know what Jay White thought he was going to do.
Jay White came out because he knew that Captain Shay Sawyer was watching, and if she didn't get to see her number one in AEW, she would throw a fit, even though she's throwing a fit now because he was there for 2 minutes and got beaten up.
Listen, you got your little tape.
Jay White. What did he ever do to deserve that?
I'm never
calling out and help Adam Copeland.
I don't know why he's doing that, bro. We know you're Adam. There's a lot of Adams in AEW, though.
So. Yeah, that's a lot of over there. A lot of Adams.
Adam Cole, Adam Copeland, and you know it's crazy too. Copeland and Cole, same last name. You know, it starts with the C, so it's kind of wild.
Is going to job. Someone's got to.
She will have fun making it look like she can get that belt away from her and make her a 3-band champion.
Or maybe Mercedes will do what she does and we'll have a new star. Who knows? But you know, Moxley chokes out Adam Copeland. And they poor Jay White, he tried his best. He really did. It was him again. What's that meme of that guy that walks up to a group of people and they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm that nigga standing on business. You heard me against 50." That was him. He's still in business, but he didn't stand for long because they knocked him down. He was on the ground. They beat him down, but he tried his best. Okay, shout out to Jay White. And then Copeland, he got choked out. And that's actually just basically how they ended the show. They just ended the show with the Death Rider. They ended the show how they end a lot of shows. The Death Riders just completely destroyed whoever was in the ring. And like what was the? I guess you know what? I guess we'll see what the fallout will be for their friends getting kidnapped and tied up in the back, and then them going out and beating them up. But yeah, I'm a WWE head. You're an E head. Oh, okay. I guess we have no words about the main event. Kidding.
I thought wrestling wanted to go first.
The after attack was fine. I just felt bad for the what's the name of that tag team again? I'm not trying to be rude.
Rock and Roll Express or FTR? Because the
Rock and Roll Express, that one, the ones that got beat up by the Death Riders. All I was thinking was I felt bad for them because I have seen Ricky Morton's son wrestle a few times over in NWA and a couple of times over at independent shows, which somebody tried to call me on to see if I knew who he was, which I do. But I just felt bad for him because his dad still wrestles too. And I was like, God damn it, what did they do to y'all, Death Riders? Like, damn.
Dang. Maybe they come in. Maybe they come in next week. Maybe he comes in next week and he avenges.
Yeah, y'all have fun watching that because I'm not doing that.
That'd be cool.
Unless I'm asked to come back again, I am not watching any more AEW. I will keep up with the women's storylines, but
I can't hate. I'm the same way with the E. Unless it's Raw. I'm not watching Raw for nobody. Sorry.
I watch it all. Even Collision. Anyway, so this man
Did
event,
you? No. Hold on. Did you watch Rampage when it was Raw?
What? Yeah. Did you guys know John Moxley? Actually, I said this on this show. I said, you watch John Moxley will pull the plug on Rampage. What'd he do? He pulled the plug on a TV show. That's how much power this man has on AEW and has that much power on Tony Khan and everything else inside this company. I said a couple weeks ago, John Moxley wants to be the bread maker for the company. He wants to make everybody money in this company. He is the guy in this company. He is kind of the Seth Rollins or the Roman Reigns or, of AEW, he said in the interview. Now, do I believe that to be true? No, because he's not on the level of Roman freaking Reigns or Seth freaking Rollins. No, because they're on huger levels.
Seth Rollins?
Obviously, okay.
Well, I might give you Roman just because of the star power. He could eat Seth Rollins' food. I'm not going.
Like I said, he brought up Seth and Roman in the interview because Shield. Everybody thinks Shield, and everybody thought he was going to show up to help them or whatever. I would go.
I did not think that was going.
Are you serious, man? That's not happening. He's extended his contract in AEW.
He's too happy to be over in AEW. I did not.
I think John Moxley is actually the Triple H of AEW. I don't mean current Triple H. I mean Triple H back in the day when he was an active wrestler, but he was so heavy, like he was cozied up to the boss and like he was so heavy into the politics and like his girl was also prominent in the company. Renee's not what Stephanie was to WWE, obviously, but I just mean that she also has a lot of sway in the company and she, has a lot going for her in her own right. So I would actually compare him more so to Triple H than Roman because I don't see Roman as a real politicker. I just think that Vince picked him. I think Vince just liked him. I don't think Roman really kind of made
Vince Kennedy McMahon likes anybody that's over 200 pounds worth of muscle and looks like they're a fucking brick house. If you're tiny as hell, then I'm sorry, he's not going to like you. Even if you have muscle on you, he's not going to like you. Even if you put the belt on them, he's still not gonna like you. Look what he's done to Finn Balor over time. I'm pulling on my Captain Shea card. Look what he's done to Finn Balor over time.
All facts.
Yeah. But the other thing though, ending the show, they always end the show with them on top. And they should because he is king of AEW, as he should be. As for the Copeland thing, I told you, lady, a couple weeks ago, get Copeland out of there. He's done, retired, be done with this company already.
I've been saying that to Jericho for years now. He still hasn't left.
Well, hey, Jericho can still go, okay? I saw him wrestling not too long ago.
I've seen him in a pay-per-view 2 years ago, and he looked like he was going to fall down and not get up.
Saw him at a Fozzy concert. He did great. He was great.
He can do fine singing. It's the wrestling I want him to do. But Copeland, yeah, he needs to be done. Saw him in action. What was it? Collision? Oh my God. Oh yeah. Wow. Sting did better actually. Sting's I think a little bit older than him, and Sting was better in the yes, he was.
I saw him.
Sting for his age was always super. Shelton Benjamin is like 50 too. He's
he's up
looks
there.
Like he's still in his 30s and can go because he can. Chris Jericho doesn't look like he's in the best shape as far as like his figure. And I think that brings him down a bit and he can't wrestle the way that he used to, which is why if he doesn't want to retire from wrestling altogether, at least be like a coach or something in the back and help these youngins.
The Ayatollah of commentary does not help no youngins, okay?
He wanted to do commentary and Tony Khan once again, like you guys said, because of all the politics and all the BS going on in AEW, Tony shot him down. So he wanted to do commentary, though, from what I knew.
So I think the only right way to end the show is with a message from my favorite champion in AEW right now.
Hey, it's Mariah May. You may know me as The Glamour, and you're watching Unpopular Review.
That's all. Thank you guys for watching, All Elite Women and Friends. We've had a really good friend here in Wrestling Doll. Thank you for joining us. I will make you watch AEW again and join us again. So you can look forward to that. Of course,
Yay.
we've always got our Mad Dog, and he had some great news stories for us next week. More news stories. Ignore Chris. He will try to tell you that we don't need those news stories, but we do. We definitely do. I like that segment. And that is all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sed. Thank you, George. Thank you, Jeffrey. Ron was also here earlier. Thank you,
Ron. Thank you, Shay. Thank you, Steven, even though you like to troll and dog the crap out of
He
AEW.
loves AEW.
Steven was the first person in the chat for this AEW show.
He
He's
loves
a secret
AEW, man.
He was dogging on AEW in our group chat, and I'm like, why are you watching it if you don't like it that much? He's like, I'm bored.
We need a drop of that. Every single wrestling fan needs to hear that. Why are you watching if you don't like it like that? Do I watch the
I love it all.
because I ain't like it like
love
that.
all.
And also, I was tired of them going to Saudi Arabia, so that's why I stopped. But anyways, that's all. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.